website. There is much more going on than meets the eye. The adventure begins here.
Cool.
And that's how trades are done on CS Money. With Hellcase multi-cases, you're no longer restricted by random case opening mechanisms. Now, you are able to pick any of the cells containing skins and actually determine what you win. Use the promo code and dive right in.
Welcome back everyone to the best of 3 series. The name's Serday, and of course this is our third map, our decider of the best of 3 matchup. Is of course Prosto going up against the likes of Gambit here on Inferno. You can see that even though Gambit are starting off here on the terrorist side, they're still playing this one relatively safe. Not going to be going for a straight up push in one of the bomb sites. In fact, right about now they have been able to take over banana control, which in itself is a pretty good deed that Gambit have done. Make sure not a single player is stationed there right behind the corner. But as you can see, interestingly enough, Prosto are putting a lot of emphasis on this B bomb site, interestingly enough. Not sure why they decide this is a good idea, but this is definitely looking like a very solid setup here for Prosto. If it actually ends up going down to a B bomb site hit here from Gambit, they definitely got themselves quite a tricky task ahead of them. The Prosto guys don't really have any sort of utility to work with, and I'm not even talking about diffuse goods. If it goes down to retake scenario, it could be quite detrimental, but Demasik is actually making some waves here on the A side. So as you can see, the Prosto guys still holding on to their positions, not moving an inch, in fact. But because Demasik has so much free space here on the A bomb side, the Gambit players do decide to rotate back on this A bomb side. They should be able to overwhelm the position here of Flattery, who is by his lonesome here on the A side in the pit area. Down he goes, but it's still not too bad of a trade here. Gambit enough time for them to get the bomb plant. Ivan right now, the first man in here for Library, should consider trying to wait for some of his teammates right now. I'm having the 4-4 scenario. It's still possible here for Prosto to break this defensive, but it ain't gonna be too easy. All right now, holding the corner, sees the players coming his way. There we go, there's 2 kills for Mo. And right now it's all for Ivan. He can try and get this clutch in here. The 2-on-3, not looking too good here for Prosto, but there's a second kill for Ivan. They might just be able to pull off something here, but they have to eliminate the pit guys as soon as possible. But Axel alongside Doja playing this one to perfection. Not getting away too much, and Doja will get 2 kills at the end of it all. That's going to be the round here for Gambit. Not too bad of a pistol round, I might add. It actually worked out for them pretty well. It was very interesting that even though the Prosto guys, they saw that a certain... Wait, who was it? I think it was Mir, wasn't it? That made his way towards the archery position there. And he wasn't opposed by a single CT other than the player that was stationed Arch. So the Gambit players begin to think that, hold on, how come so much mid control has been just simply given up by the Prosto guys? And they just make a full-on rotation on the A bomb set, and we just saw how successful it was. No counter nades here from Gambit. Able to do some damage on the Prosto players, but they're still very much alive and kicking. Gambit right now sticking with, interestingly, 4 Mach 10s on their side. I guess they were hoping to see a full eco here from Prosto, but as we can see, that's definitely not the case. They decided to go for the force spy here. I think the Flames do end up reaching Kenzer, and yes, what more can you do other than just try to go for the peak, because that's the whole point of the Molotov being thrown out. T's throw down the Molotov in a position where they hope for CT to be in, and at that point the CT has option A. It is to try to back away and try to escape the Flames, or option B is obviously try to take the fight while it's being in the Flames. Because more often than not, if you're going to try to back away, there's a very high possibility that as the T's holding the angle, he should be able to get the better of you. Right now though, the Gambit players being very cautious in their approach to this A bomb site. Maybe a bit too much, is now with 20 seconds remaining. They have to continue on here. They have to make the push here on the side. Where on earth is the bomb plant here? Gambit, they have to make their way here. I'm not quite sure why Flash decided to leave the pit areas. That was such a powerful spot to be holding from Yakinder to find 2 kills, and now Def timing in. It suddenly becomes a very good round here for the likes of Prosto. They're gonna be able to overwhelm the Gambit offensive. That's one more round here for Prosto. I mean, that's also a bit problematic to slow things down to a crawl in, well, a situation like this if you're Gambit. I mean, you have so little time to work with. You have 20 seconds remaining. You're very much close to the bomb set, but you're not committing to the push, and that is where problems do arise. You don't commit to the push, then you have to go in for the insta bomb plant, and you can't do it. And uh-oh. That seems to be a bit problematic. Oh, there you go. You're back in the match. Uh-oh. This is quite problematic. Oh, there you go. We're back yet again. Not sure what the problem was, but... Right. Anyways, so back in the previous matchup. Well, previous round, so to speak. When you have so little time to work it, it is very problematic for a team that actually enter the bomb site in that scenario when it was Gambit. You know, they have 20 seconds to work with. They're very much close by the bomb site. Sure, they should be able to get the better of the Prosto players, but as we saw, the Prosto guys were holding some very, very safe angles. They didn't really commit to the fights there. And then the end of it all, Gambit had very little time to work with, so they have to make the push on the bomb site happen. And we saw that, if anything, Gambit did screw up massively there. So, that's a pretty good dink there on Yakinder by the Glocks. As, interestingly enough, he doesn't actually decide to go for the Kevlar investment. That is pretty interesting. Especially if you're going up against Nico. That seems to be a must to be behind that helmet alongside the Kevlar, but would you look at this? Kenzer right now is the only guy holding things down here towards the B bomb site. You could actually get very easily overwhelmed by these Gambit players, but do they actually check him? They don't, but as he reveals his position, it's an easy kill there for Mir. And right now, as the Gambit players actually going to be able to continue on their way onto the B bomb site, they should be able to pull this one off, in fact. With the bomb going down, they definitely have themselves a good chance in this scenario. There's Dima spotting out Flyerch. A good kill here for Dima. As right now, with the MP9 being picked up, it's still a very good possibility here for Gambit to actually get something done here. But Prosto, they seem to be... Oh, okay. Axel gets the better of Ivan. Wouldn't be too surprised if the Gambit players now going to continue on, plant their bomb with the B side, and actually get themselves the round win here. That seems to be very possible. Def right now, alongside Yakinder. Oh man, Yakinder goes down. Means that it's all up to Def to try and get this clutch, but let's be real, it's not looking too good here for Def. As we can see, the Gambit players, they're actually going to continue on moving back onto A bomb side. That actually makes a lot of sense. I think they realize the positioning here of Def, and with that being said, Gambit will be able to plant the bomb and get themselves a very good post-plant position.
Bomb has been planted.
Right now, I'd say if you're Def in this position, his best bet would probably try to be saving that AK-47. That looks like what he's going to try to do right now, and I do respect the man. Well, with that rifle now being in the hands of Prosto's Def, it's really not too surprising to see the Prosto try to go for the force buy here. We do have the upgrade pistols. Modo still finds the kill on Ivan, even though the man's fully blinded. This is actually a pretty good opening here for Gambit. As with the kill on Ivan, I wouldn't be too surprised if they actually just continue on committing on the bomb site, but that may not necessarily be the case. The good thing here for Gambit is that they do have so much time to work with. With them having so much time to work with, you'd actually even see the Gambit players rotate back towards the A bomb site. That is in fact where the push is going to be taking place. Flourish right now, the only guy holding off this A bomb site, so he's going to have quite a difficult time here, I'd say. I guess Dimasic, maybe he should be able to spot out Flourish, but now as he's hearing a lot of footsteps right around in his vicinity, he can't get a single kill there, Flourish. And something tells me with that bomb set now going back in the hands of Gambit, I wouldn't be too surprised if Prosto do decide to go for the save here. As we can see, Yakinder, alongside his buddies, Kenzer and Def, just gonna save things up here in the B bomb set, but as Yakinder goes down, right now Prosto's gonna have to be very careful in their approach. They know that there's a certain Dimasic trying to hunt him down, and there we go, there's a nice shot from Kenzor. But yeah, it would be obviously very good for the Prosto players, Def included. If they could actually save their guns here. As right now, Kenzor gets overwhelmed by Mo's Mac 10. And it kind of looks possible that Def is going to survive, so... Okay, I guess it's not too bad here for the likes of Prosto, but again, it's honestly going to be a full eco here for the Prosto members. As we can see. Prosto's 4 remaining members just have to go for the full on eco to try and save up some of that money for the 6th round, but for now it's all gonna have to be in the hands of Def if he wants to try to accomplish something for the team. He has the rifle to work with, so he's definitely in this round, but other than him, I think Prosto do have a pretty smooth chance here. There's Def right here towards Banana. Might just be able to find an early kill here if possible, but as the bombardment does rain in, something tells me it's going to be very difficult for Def. There we go, he goes down, and it kind of looks like Gambit might just continue on with the push here at the B bomb side. They know that the opponents are just on a full-on eco, so it looks like they will just continue on moving forward. Though I'm not really sure if the bomb is going to be... Oh, okay, it is heading back to the B side. So yeah, at this point, Prosto going to have a very difficult time holding on to this B bomb site. Lonesome Kenzer is here, and Asmir, slowly but surely moving in, clearing out every single nook and cranny he finds Kenzor. And with that being said, that's going to be the 4th round here for Gambit, and a pretty good one, I'd say. Not able to lose a single player means that they will have been able to build up their economy. There's alright, Flash, you want to be able to get the kill on Doja. Nice attempt though, not gonna lie, but that was probably his best attempt in a scenario like this. Of course, now Prosto will have a proper investment in this round. I'm not really sure if they can... Yeah, they cannot invest in an AWP, it seems like. Just gonna be able to rock with the rifles, and Def does end up buying the AUG. And that's about it here for Prosto. I mean, they still have a decent amount of utility, that's pretty good, but if it's going to come down to the retake scenario, that sort of thing is going to be looking quite tricky for the CTs. Not happy with the fuse kit does make things a bit more difficult in a retake scenario here for Prosto. As we can see though, Yakinder, alongside teammate Kenzer, do have a pretty good setup here in the middle. And in fact, they also have a certain Def now being boosted up here on the rooftop. So this will be a very good setup here by the Prosto players. But interestingly enough, as they are putting so much emphasis here in the middle, no one's really looking towards the apartments, and that could really work out here for Prosto. There we go. Look at the kills they're able to gather here. thanks to this setup here from Prosto, they're able to shut down every single player that goes pushing middle. And now it's all up to Mir here. He's left in a pretty awkward spot, I'd say. He is definitely able to pick up the bomb, that's for sure, but it's not going to be looking too good here for the likes of Mir. As right now, there you go, he goes down. That's going to be 4 rounds here for Gambit. Still, the scoreline hasn't changed too much for them, but of course, there's the second one for Prosto. Looks like the Prosto player is going to be fighting for some early banana control. We have deployed that deep smoke, so of course it's going to be blocking out the vision here for Gambit and going to stop them from attempting to try and go for this push. But of course, reactively, Gambit, if they realize it, and which they do, that if the Gambit players, or pardon me, if the Prosto players do end up pushing banana, there's a very high chance it's not going to have a very good defensive here on the A side. That's pretty much the case. They take down the 2 remaining defenders, which means that Gambit have got themselves a very good scenario in this round. This is going to be around here for Gambit. As we can see, Prosto are already retreating. They don't want to be a part of this retake, as it will be very difficult for them to make this Gambit post-plant scenario. And with that being said, I mean, still not too bad here for Prosto. If they actually end up saving all 3 rifles here, then the upcoming round will still have a somewhat decent investment. Right, like I mentioned earlier, this investment here from Prosto ain't gonna be looking too bad, in fact. They have themselves a decent amount of weaponry here. The only guy that might be suffering here from this investment from Prosto is probably Def with the MP9, but even so, I'd say the situation, like in this round, him being stationed on the B bomb site, it's not too bad to be having an MP9. He can still get something done, but as we can see, in fact, the Prosto guys are going to be putting a lot of emphasis on this A side defensive by even having 4 members on the A part of the map. They're going to have a lot of faith here in Ivan's defensive capabilities, and well, that could still come back to bite the Prosto players. Not really sure how well the defensive will look here, but for now, it's looking pretty good for Gambit, that they have been able to take over some mid control, which is pretty nice for them. But how are they going to use this mid presence? Are they in fact going to continue on pushing forward? Or are they simply going to back away? Looks like they're going to choose the latter option, except for Dimasic, trying to pull off some heroics. I'm hoping to see a player there, but I think Flyerch is actually in the library itself, so Dimasic shouldn't be able to spot him out. But look at this. This is some great timing here for Dima. He might just be able to get this flanking on the CT players who are stationed. Oh man, right now Gambit, they have got themselves such a good opportunity. Now they're going to continue on with the B-bomb side push. But as we can see, Dima should be able to cut off rotations. He takes down Flarich. And right about now, as the push comes in here from Gambit, they're going to have themselves quite a good fair here. But Kenzer is able to find a massive kill there for the smoke. Right now, Avon is able to drop down the bomb carrier. And I don't think they have enough time to get the defuse in. Kenzer finds 1 more kill for the smoke. And this round is pretty much over here for Gambit. Oh man, this is so weird. It looked so good for Gambit at one point, especially with them having Dimasic with the flank, and yet they weren't really able to take over that B bomb site. I mean, it's also been very problematic here for Gambit. I mean, they have been leaving like what, maybe 20-30 seconds for these execute plays to take place, and it's always quite risky, you know. It's very risky to be making these late pushes into the round, because scenarios like this where you end up dropping the bomb when there's 10 seconds remaining, that could be it. That could be a round loss for you just because you end up dropping the bomb. Right now, the Gambit players taking over banana control as well as mid present. There's some good flashes coming in here from Prosto. They're still able to trade things out here, Gambit, which ain't looking too bad here for the terrorists. As the Gambit players right now, looks like they are going to be going for a B push, but it's not going to be happening at around the 20-second mark. In fact, they have plenty of time to actually work with here, and they don't necessarily have to commit to the B bomb save, but the fact is they have the majority of the players stationed here, and they will continue on with the push here. They have a couple of their flashes remaining. Molotov won't really do too much to deter Kenzer from that position, as right now Ivan is able to have a very good spray on 2 of the players, and as his position has been revealed, I'm not sure if he can survive here for any longer. Doja takes him down. This means that the bomb plant is imminent here for Gambit. And I must admit though, Mo has got a very good angle here. Of course, if Yakinder and Fletch want to try to go for the retake here, they must cross here towards CT. And I'm not sure if Doja was able to spot a single player there, but he's obviously going to be anticipating someone come in for CT. Right now, Mo doesn't see a single player towards Banana. He might just begin to shift his focus here on the B bombs. A good kill here from Doja. Even though Yakinder finds the kill on Mo, it's going to be very difficult to win it against Doja, as Doja has got time to work with it. Yakinder definitely does not. He gets the kill, sure, but it's still going to be a round victory here for Gambit. Yakinder will be able to escape with his life intact. And that's 6 rounds for Gambit. Oh, this is actually a pretty good replay here on how Prosto were able to retake mid in that scenario. It was actually pretty slick stuff. They had a player underneath the rooftop. They had 2 of their individuals pushing in through from the arch position towards middle. And they were able to at least get a trade there, which still isn't too bad for the CTs, but in practice it looked like they could have been able to do much more work there. Right now, deploys the grenadier towards Banana. Oh, okay. That's some great timing here from Mir. I guess he anticipates the players to be there, especially with that Molotov being deployed. He begs the question that if the Molotov is deployed, there has to be some of these Prosto players to try to take over some Banana control. And well, that's pretty much the case. Well done there by Mir. Finds the opening here for Gambit. So the remaining players here from Gambit, I mean, they still have themselves a decent amount of time to work with. So they are going to be taking some pretty late Banana control here, as we can see in the minimap. But the way some of these Gambit players are positioned right now, especially the likes of Doja alongside his teammate Demasik, it looks like this is going to be just a simple push here on the A bomb site. They have deployed some of the more important smoke grenades to block off the visions here of Prosto, and yet Yakinder still has a second opportunity to land the shot, but can't succeed against Dima. And as the push is taking place, Def is still very much blinded with a flash grenade. But of course, Gambit doesn't really have the most amount of time to work with, so he needs to find these kills, which they do succeed in the end. And Ivan, massive shot from him. He might just be able to pull this one back into the favor of Prosto. There's a second kill for him. And right now, Gambit, oh, they're finally able to take down Ivan, but that was so close to the very end. There was about 3 seconds remaining, I think. And yet, the Gambit players able to pull it back. good shots there from even the echoing players. They're able to take down Axel. But yeah, this round should be a pretty easy one for Gambit, but as it says, so there's some pretty good kills being found out here for Prosto, so as far as the ecos are concerned, it's definitely not too bad here for the CTs. Ah yes, a timeout finally comes in here by the Prosto players. Obviously, we didn't even see them take a timeout in our second map of the best of 3, as they were able to just steamroll the Gambit players. Like, they had such a good side on the terrorist side, and on the back of it, they were pretty much able to win the matchup. Here, though, it's looking much more Gambit-sided than the second map. Here we get to see Gambit now having 8 rounds on the terrorist side, which is actually a pretty good scoreline. They can be quite happy about that, Gambit. Still, with them having the superior combi, they do have a very good chance at acquiring at least a couple more rounds here on the terrorist side. And as Gambit, actually no, pardon me, as Prosto are taking the time, I wonder what are they discussing right now? Because one thing I have to note, I mean, the way Prosto have been able to take over banana control has been pretty good, in fact. I mean, that is some great stuff from Prosto. It's just that, interestingly enough, once they take over banana control, they seem to actually back away and play more passively on the B side. That's the one thing I've noticed. More often than not, if you get to see a team taking over banana control on the city side, you will still have one player stationed towards banana, hoping to either jump spot to see if there are any terrorists coming towards him, or even hold a bit of a more aggressive angle on that sort of wall with an AWP. Looks like, again, pretty early on here, Prosto could be fighting for some of that. Oh, that was actually pretty sick there by Kinder. He jump off the head of his own teammate. I guess that's one way to be retreating from middle. Right now, it kind of looks like the Gambit players might just continue on with this push here at the bomb side. It's still very possible for them to actually get this one. As there you go, there's a kill here by Mir. There's only lonesome death now remaining on the bomb side. It seems to be very possible. They should be able to overwhelm this player. There we go, the nade comes in. And right now, it's all up to Mo to try to get this clutch in. He more or less realizes the positioning of one of these players, but right now I do wonder where is he going to be heading towards. Looks like middle is going to be it. I can see single player so far. He's actually going to try to go for the wraparound. It doesn't really make a lot of sense for Mo. He's just going to continue on pulling here towards middle. Flash is being deployed, I think. There's also Molotov down to the pit area. Of course, Prosto, they're hoping for him to be in pit, but in fact, he's here towards sure that he's able to land on the first kill. There's still one more fight he has to win. He actually gets the tag on Kenzor. Very doable for him to get the clutch in, but Kenzor tries to get up close and personal with that AWP, but Mo's is a bit quicker. This means that there's 9 rounds here for Gambit, and Prosto again. Their economy has been reset. They have to go for another eco, it seems like. More unconventional stuff here from Prosto. Gonna be pushing towards the apartments, though they haven't been able to find a single kill so far. It's in fact Doja. Mir also finding a kill of his own. As the Gambit players should be able to have themselves a quite the easy round here. There's only lonesome Kenzo remaining here at the bomb side, which I think Mir might be anticipating his position here as the way Kenzo has been playing these past couple rounds. And there we go. That's quite the clean round here for Gambit again. On this eco, they don't end up losing a single player, and that's also going to be a pretty good boost here for the economy, though I wouldn't say that the economies matter too much here for either side at this point, as Gambit and for Prosto, this first half is coming to a close, and it's going to be very important for the Prosto guys to acquire these 2 remaining rounds. If they get them, and they certainly do have a pretty good chance here in the second half, but for now, with only 3 rounds on the CD side, it's looking quite abysmal for Prosto. We want to try to get these rounds to the board, and I get to see Ivan and Yekender picking up the 2 WPs. Looks like Ivan is just stationed there in the corner, which, yeah, I mean, if you're Mir, you're deploying that Molotov, which has become pretty much standard here in Counter-Strike. Sometimes even the doubling nades also do get deployed there, which obviously they're super effective if there is an AWP player holding off that angle. Oh, well, right now it's got the superior angle here against Ivan. He's just going to be able to continue on holding this position, but as the smoke rains in, this does put a spanner in the works here for Gambit's plan. That's going to be Ivan getting the kill here on Mir. They might just be able to get this one going here, Prosto, with that first kill on Mir. I wouldn't be too surprised if, yeah, there you go. The Prosto guys are actually anticipating this to be a B bomb to push. That's why they have 3 players here. Well, shall I say still 2, as their 5th player, Def, is still roaming around there in CT spawn. As right now, 30 seconds remaining. This is where Gambit gonna have to make the push here on the bomb side. It doesn't look like nor Ivan nor Kenzer have any utility remaining. So right now, this is not going to be possible for them to deter this push from Gambit players. 20 seconds remaining. They have to make this push happen here. Gambit, they're taking their sweet time right now. They need to find these skills. There's the first one for Axel, and that lineup here for Kenzor. Right now, they should be able to stop this push from Gambit as the bomb's been dropped. And it's looking very difficult for them to enter into the bombs. So they have, I think, picked up the... Oh, no, they haven't picked up the bomb. So, yeah, it's going to stay here in the pool. This means that this will be the 4th round here for Prosto. Which, I mean, it is a bit of a shame that they end up dropping one of the AWPs, but still, at the very end of it all, they do get the 4th round here on the CT side. And would you look at that? This is going to be the very last round of the first half, and I guess you could say that both teams will still have somewhat decent investment. I wonder... Oh, right, Kinder's going to be sticking with that AWP of his. Kinder trying to find the early kill there, but can't succeed here against the AWP against Smoke. Ivan right now, ooh, that was such a crucial fight for Ivan to be winning. Suddenly puts his team in a somewhat dual position, but I'm not sure if Ivan is going to be able to get out of there alive, which apparently he will be able to do so. Right in the nick of time as the Molotovs are deployed from Gambit. It doesn't look like it's going to be a full-on commitment here from the Gambit players. Holding off to their positions here, but Doja, it's getting quite hot there in the boiler. And 40 seconds remaining. It kind of looks like Gambit right now going to commit to this A-bomb side. They're still going to have to eliminate somehow the players out of the pit position, and that's a very good late Molotov stayed up there by Dev. And right now, as the 30 seconds are remaining here on this bomb site push, they have to make it here, Gambit. Otherwise, they might just run out of time here yet again. Demon Sig wins the fight. Flourish, though, 2 massive goes to the M4, goes in for the 3rd one, and he single-handedly stops this push here from Gambit. It's all up to Demon Sig, and I think Flash more or less anticipates him to be there. And right now, Demon Sig, this is so difficult for him. He might just be able to plant the bomb, but Ivan will get the better of him. And there's 5 rounds here for Prost on the CT side. Obviously, not as good as it possibly could have been for Prosto, especially with the start that he had early on here. But I mean, coming out of this one with 5 rounds, it's still way better than just sticking with 3. Which then, by that point, could have been a 12-3 scoreline, which is, well, it would have been quite daunting here for the Prosto guys. So I mean, 5 rounds, okay, sure, it's definitely possible to get something done here, especially if you end up picking up that pistol round here, Prosto. Proster right now. So they are going to be heading over towards B bomb side. There's only Lonesome Mirror here in Banana. It is quite interesting to note that he doesn't have his teammate backing him up. Of course, Mir, as the Molotovs, well, actually, no, the Molotovs, the HE grenades were in. There's really nothing you can do there. Right now, Doja being softened up by those clocks here across, though. There we go. There's Flash finding one more kill here. This means that Gambit are going to have themselves a very difficult time on the retake, which, in all honesty, let's say they will try to give it a shot, but it will be so difficult for Gambit. They do have one smoke grenade, which ends up lining up there towards Banana, but as we can see, the positioning here from Prosto is looking superb right now. There's really nothing Gambit can do in order to cross here into the bomb site, which I mean, is looking pretty much impossible. Mo alongside Demasic still trying to find some frags here, but as we can see, there's still the T players coming out on top in every single engagement. Well, at the very least, Demasic might just be able to stop these players from staying alive, but no, as he goes down, that's the 6th round here for Prosto, and the pistol round now being picked up. There we go. That's something the Prosto players desperately needed to continue on in this matchup. Of course, right now, there might be a bit more difficulty to try to convert this upcoming round, but if you're Prosto, you should be able to do so. You have the rifles to work with, the 2 Mac-10s being purchased. And we'll see what can the Prosto players do here. Well, gets softened up with that Mac-10 here of death, but in return he does land one scout shot. Now, the one thing that could very poorly work out here for Prosto is actually this fast play here, as they're all jumping in here from the apartments. They could very easily shut down here, but the pit players, but somehow they're missing all the shots here, the pit guys. This means that Prosto have got a very good opening to actually go into this bomb, so they plant the bomb and have their players in some very good post-plant positions. Which looks like, yeah, that's pretty much going to be the case in this round. The Gambit players are pretty much out of this one. Trying to go for a 3-on-4 retake is definitely a possibility here for the CTs, but I'd say it is way wiser to try to save up some of these weapons in the upcoming round, as, well, it's going to be a full-on eco here from Gambit, so at the very least, even if Demasic and Axel have to go for a full eco, you know, maybe Doja can get a kill with that P250, Mir with the 5.7, or even Mo can do some damage with that scout of his. Oh, alright. A technical pause now being taken. I'm not really sure what's the nature of this pause. If there's actually some sort of serious technical issue, or is it just a simple timeout for one of the teams? If anything, I wouldn't be too surprised if someone like Prosto would actually end up taking a timeout in a scenario like this. It actually would make a lot of sense here for Prosto, as they're still definitely in a viable position to actually win the map here, but they're going to have to be super focused to actually get that W here. So I wouldn't be too surprised if this is actually not a technical pause, but a tactical one taken out by one of the teams. Which, like I said, would make a lot of sense, especially if you're a team like Prosto, who is filled with these, young players who definitely tend to struggle in some of the more crucial situations. Like I said, I mean, this is a roster where you can have some very good fragging individuals. Like for me, it's obviously Ivan, Yakinder, and Flash, this sort of trio of the 3 players, as they're pretty much the highest fragging individuals for this Prosto team, and I don't really get to see a game where all 3 of them are able to pop off and have a splendid game. It's primarily either one or the 2. In this game so far, it's been primarily just Yakinder and Ivan getting the majority of the kills, but we even saw, Flarich able to find some success in some of the rounds on the CT side, so he may not have the most amount of kills, but definitely had some impact this matchup. So here is a very good round that Prosto should be able to win. We can see that Prosto have got, you know, the MAC-10s, the AK-47s and whatnot, and they're going to be going up against a saved scout from Mo. The upgraded pistols there for Doji and Mir, and pretty much the ecoing Demastic and Axel. So this is a very good opportunity here for Gambit, but as we can see, Axel might just be able to get the Zeus kill. Yes, he does get it onto Kenzor. Not too bad, though. As the Zeus kill takes down Kenzor. It is, of course, a very viable strat to be having those Zeus in the apartments here on the map Inferno. Prosto players are now committed to this bomb site push here. They have been able to make their way to the pit area, so this is actually very good here for Prosto. They have cleared out Mo, who was stationed here at the bomb site, as right now the bomb does get planted here for Prosto. This is looking pretty solid for them. They should be able to win this 8th round in this scenario. I really don't see a world where they somehow screw this one up. And as we can see, you know, Doja, Demastic, as well as Mir, they still kind of were holding off to them exit frags and maybe trying to get them, but it looks like at this point they might just try to save their Kevlar here, which again doesn't make a lot of sense if you're Mir and Doja. Obviously, you're Demastic. You're in a position where saving the P250 isn't of top priority, so it does make a lot of sense for him to try and get a kill here if possible, but as all the Prosto players going to be stationed in the pit. Not sure if Demastic can... Oh, yep, he sees all the players there, but it's still not going to be enough for him to take down Yekender, and yes, 8 rounds here for Prosto. And right now, the round difference between the two teams is only measly 2 rounds, so as we can see, the pips, the round that Prosto have been able to win has turned out to be very important. The pass around victory, they were able to convert the 2 rounds right after that, and as we can see, it's actually pretty good here for Prosto. Imagine he ended up winning this gun round here against Gambit. They again reset the economy of Gambit, and suddenly this could be a 10-10 scoreline, or simply put at it, a tie. There's going to be some of these Prosto players moving forward towards Banana. There's actually a Kinder. While he's blind and still getting the kill, but Doja not going to be too lucky there on the spray transfer. Right now, I wouldn't be too surprised if Prosto actually continue on moving forward on the bomb site, but with that Molotov being deployed, I guess actually going to slow things down just a bit. Wait, how did Ivan actually cross the Molotov without even being dealt a single point of damage? That's actually pretty weird. As we can see right now, the Prosto guys still have some of their smokes being deployed to block out the player's vision. Right now, Mo trying to spot out someone there for Prosto, but Yekender, what a massive play from him! He pushes him through the CT smoke, gets 4 kills, and of course, a round here for Prosto. And as we can see, guys, that is such a crucial round for Prosto to be winning. As this has reset the economy for Gambit, they have to go for it. Seems to be an eco. And Prosto have got an amazing opportunity to actually equalize the scoreline. Gambit players not able to find too much success here in this round, as actually Prosto not giving them a single frag so far. Right about now, this is where the Prosto guys are going to have to begin making their way on one of these bomb sites, and it looks like it's going to be the A bomb site. In fact, that is where also the bomb is heading here from Prosto. But right now, we can see that Gambit have made a bit of a switch up here. They have all of their players here on the A bomb side. So if anything, Prost are going to have to be very careful in their approach here. They don't definitely, while it's entering the A bomb site, they don't want to leave it to like the 20-second mark. As we can see, they're probably just going to continue on moving forward here. The A side, I'd say. There's a smoke grenade here towards Arch. Looks like they're just going to continue on moving forward, but this is the mistake. They have 4 players here, Gambit. And I think Frost actually going to make the switch up here. They might just head on back towards this B side, but with 30 seconds remaining, they have to continue on with the play here. There's now Mo with that sniper rifle picked up. Not sure if Mir can get anything done here with the 5-7, but of course, Molotovs, the grenades now to force out Mo out of position. There's Mir going down, and I wouldn't be too surprised if Mo ends up saving the sniper rifle, which, in fact, that's what he's going to do right now. This is a pretty good eco here for Gambit. They end up killing 2 players here from Prosto, and most importantly, actually salvaging a very powerful gun.
Terrorists win.
Looks like Prost is going to be going for a bit more aggressive play here towards Banana. Not able to see a single player so far as the smoke grenades are blocking off their vision. And you could say this is still a pretty decent damage exchange here between the 2 teams, especially favoring the Prosto players. As not only have they dealt some damage onto Mo as well as Mir, both of us do have some of this Banana presence, but looks like Mir ain't going to be giving up just yet. Still going to be holding his ground, but yes, now even he backs away, going to be playing a bit more passively here at the B bomb site, which is quite understandable here for Gambit, as they don't really have any more utility remaining to actually continue on fighting for Banana presence. And I'm not really sure where Doja is. Right here on the B bomb site. Okay, so when you think about it, the A side defenders don't even have any more utility remaining, so this is pretty awful here for Gambit. And now is Prosto going to continue on with this bomb site push. Gonna have to wait and see whether they can actually stop this right now. From Prosto able to find the first kill here on Axel. Right now, Yikinder finds the kill on Mo, and Demonson trying to do whatever he can here right behind the boxes. But as he goes down, the bomb will commence here for Prosto. And of course, Mira and Doja do have a difficult task ahead of them. I think they're just going to continue on going for the retake, but ain't going to be too easy here. Doja definitely positioned to be throwing down at Molotov here. I think this should actually force out Def out of position. Oh, actually, no, the Molotov doesn't land. Ay, Doja. Went a bit too to the right, but it's not going to matter anyway, as we get to see Ivan with the AWP chime in. That's going to be 11 rounds of Prosto. The terrorists have been able to win 6 rounds in a row so far, and this is looking very good for them. Some great progress here from Prosto. Looks like he might just be able to get out of here, but of course, as he throws down the smoke grenade, it's pretty obvious here for Prosto who on earth threw down the smoke grenade. Oh, okay. Interestingly enough, Mir is actually going to get out of there unscathed, pretty much. It's a good thing you had to see me at Doja to throw down a flash grenade. But as we can see, I mean, this is looking pretty bad here for the Gambit players. They barely have any utility to stop these pushes here from Prosto, and as we can see, that's in fact the last bit of utility here on this B bomb site here for Gambit, and which ends up meaning that if Prosto gonna wait just a little bit here for the smoke to fade, they probably might just continue on pushing on the bomb site. That is definitely a possibility here for the terrorist side, or at the very least, actually, by having Flaherty in this position, it's actually good enough for maybe this one man to actually distract the Gambit players that this might be a push here. But as we can see, right now, Gambit, you do have an individual here in the form of Mir, and see the spawn almost gets the kill on Ykinder, but almost isn't good enough. There's 2 more players remaining here at the B-bomb site. There's, of course, Mo alongside Doja. They do have the sniper rifle here, which Mo's DWP can be very prominent here. He drops the bomb carrier Ivan, and somehow Gambit are able to find all the kills necessary to stop this push here from Prosto. It's looking pretty good right now for the Gambit players, as they're able to take down every single individual from Prosto. Gambit, at the very least, do end up winning their very first round here on the CT side. It's been a long time coming, but they finally get it. Though, it is important to note that they did win that round with the skin of their teeth. So imagine if Gambit somehow end up losing this upcoming round. That's it. It's a money reset. They have to go for an eco, if not a double eco here, Gambit. And that would be such a horrible situation here for the CTs. Again, straight up banana presence here from Gambit as well. So at the very least, Doja alongside his teammate Mir do win that fight, but Flash finds the better of Doja. And suddenly, it's a pretty good scenario here for the Gambit players, as this 4-4. It's actually not looking too shabby for them. There's Axel finding the kill on Kenzor, and it's looking even better. Oh, Mo has actually rotated here back towards the A-bomb side. But as we can see, this is looking superb right now for Prosto. Actually, pardon me, for Gambit. The Prosto players still gonna try to stick this one through. I mean, you have Ivan alongside Flarich. 2 players you'd probably love to be seeing in a scenario like this. And if anything, they probably have the best bet here from the Prosto guys to get something done here. And right now, Gambit. This hold from them might have actually deterred the Prosto players from pushing forward on the A bomb side. It looks like they might as well get their running shoes on and push here back towards the B side. This is where Lonesome Mir is holding, and in fact, Mir actually still has that Molotov. He throws it out at the most opportune time. It looks like Gambit right now, at least Mir should be able to shut down at least one of these players. The nade could do damage, but simply not good enough. Right now, Mir not gonna peek on in. Should definitely wait for his teammate, as he's definitely running out of bullets. And right now, Ivan does get the better of Mir. This means that the Prosto players definitely have a pretty good chance here in this scenario. As Gambit pushing on through. Flarich. Oh no, that's some awful timing for Mo. As Flarich gets the kill, I think they realize if the 2 remaining players are somewhere, they have to be in the Ruins position. They have the defuse kit here in the form of Axel, who's probably going to have to stick it. Flarich though finds the kill, and right now Axel, it's pretty much impossible for him to be winning this one. There's very little time to work with. Flarich right now in the smoke grenade, and as we can see, this will be the 12th round here for Prosto as Gambit. Oh boy, that was so unlucky for them. That was so unlucky for them. It looked like they might just been able to pull off that round, but I mean, that's what I'm talking about. If you were to have 2 Latvians, you know, who could be able to win a 2-4 scenario like that, oh, pardon me, not 2 Latvians, but 2 Prosto members, it has to be one of the 3 of Ivan, Ykinder, and Flarich. There we had Flarich and Ivan, and that was good enough to be winning that scenario. And like I said, Gambit's economy is now in shambles. It's in the bin. So they have to go for either a double eco, or in this case, they're going to be going for the force buy here in that upcoming round. If they end up losing this one, then they will go for the full eco, which still means that Prosto have got a very good chance at actually reaching 14 rounds. There's, of course, some mid-presence here from the Gambit players. It's honestly not looking too good for them, as they get very easily shut down here. I think Axel is going to try to give it his best shot here in the boiler area. think that's a smoke grenade, but it's simply not going to be good enough. Mo right now is swinging around with that UMP of his. Still finds 2 kills, which honestly isn't too bad here. Kenzer right now from the apartments. No one's even looking at the apartments right now. In fact, Kenzer has been able to win this side single-handedly. He's been able to stop the 2 Gambit players to try to attempt the retake here. But look at this. It's some good positioning here from Mir. Kenzer runs out of bullets. And if anything, this is still somewhat possible here for Gambit to actually stop this one. As Mir right now in middle, I think he might have revealed his position. As if anything, yep, Ivan's definitely looking towards short. He's hoping to see a certain Mir in his angle. And right about now, with 40 seconds remaining, it's still not too bad here. Ivan still finds the angle on Mir. And you know the positioning here of Doja, so this is looking pretty bad here for Gambit. There's another round here for Prosto, and as we can see, you know, that was a force spray here from the Gambit players to try and even out the money situation. But here, they just have to go for a full-on eco if they want to have an investment on the 26th round. So, this is looking like yet another very good round here for Prosto. The Gambit players is going for a full-on eco here. They have the majority of the players here on the B side, so they might just be able to get something done here. But as we can see, Kinder and Dev having pretty much a cleanup here on the B bomb side. Not a single player surviving, and thus, Lonesome Demasik is here in second mid, hoping to find a kill. If that's even possible at this point. But as we can see, it's looking pretty bad here for the Gambit players.
Bomb has been planted.
So, Demasik right now. P to 15 hand. Might just be able to find maybe a kill here on Kinder, as he's going to appear here right around the corner, jumping around that max 10 of his, and yes, Kinder will still get the better of him. There's now 14 rounds for Prosto, and for those who are wondering, this has been 9 rounds acquired here by Prosto in the second half, 9 rounds on the terrorist side. In comparison to Gambit, the only one round on the city side. So if anything, Prosto are looking very solid so far here on the terrorist side of Inferno. Very good stuff. As the difference between the two teams is still 3 rounds, and Prosto, if they're able to win 2 more, that's going to be a victory here, not only in our third map, the decider of the best of 3, it's going to be, of course, a victory here throughout the entire match. So these next couple of rounds are going to be so important for either team, but I'd say even more so for Prosto, as this would be a very good upset for the youngsters if they're able to get the match win against Gambit. Of course, right now, Prosto going to keep things pretty simple here. You have to throw down a pretty good wall here to actually deter any Gambit players from getting in the spray transfer. And here we go. There's a Kinder finding a kill on Mo. This is still looking pretty good right now for Prosto, as I think once the smokes end up fading, they're going to continue with the push there. But Kenzer doesn't look towards Axel, and I think, yes, Axel still somehow finds a second kill. There's a lot of trades here happening on the bomb side. As Claridge, no, he somehow loses the fight against Doja. That's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. They're Doja, yet Ivan finds the kill on Mir. And obviously, if you're Ivan, you know the positioning of Doja, and still Doja burns the flames, but that's going to be a round here for Gambit, a much needed round for them. But oh boy. That is some weird stuff here. Gambit, they're able to pull off the victory, yeah, that's for certain, but they win the round by having every single player dying, so yeah, they can pull off an investment here, sure, but it ain't gonna be looking too good here for the likes of Gambit. I can't believe I'm saying this, but apparently Doja's heroics were able to win this this round here for Gambit. But obviously, it's no secret that Doja hasn't been performing to a high level of Counter-Strike, especially of a player of his stature. But, you know, from time to time, we get to see some of these moments of brilliance, like this round in particular. where somehow Flarich misses the kill on a certain Dojo who's pushing from Banana. That pretty much opens up the round here for Doja, and that last kill in particular, insane stuff from him. So, it's a tactical timeout being picked up here by the pro-sub players. If anything, I was maybe thinking Gambit might consider to take a timeout, but... Oh, or it is... Wait, hold up. So it is a Gambit pause or is it a pro-sub pause? I guess it's a Gambit one. Alright. Definitely makes sense if you're Gambit to be taking a pause in this scenario. I mean, again, you've been put in this scenario where, yes, you won a round, that's great and all, but imagine if you end up losing this upcoming round, like... Your economy is just going to be in the bin, and the fact that the second half is coming to a close, and if you're not going to be able to pull this one off, that's going to be pretty much it. Oh, and okay, now it's a technical pause. This is getting interesting. But yeah, obviously, things ain't looking too good here for the Gambit roster. I mean, this is a do or die scenario for Gambit. They have to win this one. If you don't end up winning this round, then guys, don't be too surprised if you get to see the Prosto guys making an upset in this game. Gambit. As I alluded to earlier, on the back of them winning that round previously, and by having every single player dying in that scenario, their investment here isn't looking up to snuff, especially what he had earlier. They have 2 UMPs here, 2 FAMASas, and the 5-7 here in the hands of Mir. It's obviously not looking too good here for Gambit. Oh, that's some good nade damage here in Def. Nades do come in here from Gambit players, but Mir, oh, Mir, if only he knew how close it was at actually taking down one of those players. That's attempts there from Mir. But this is actually pretty good here for Gambit. They don't really have too much utility to work with. And those coordinated grenade strikes in Banana did make a very big difference here. They have been able to soften up the likes of Flarich and Def, which means that if these players are still going to be trying to take fights against, well, the Gambit guys, which they obviously will, something like the UMP there of Doja or even Mir's 5-7, which will have a much easier time at actually getting the kill. Mo somehow wins the fight against Def. That's what I'm talking about, but why would Mo go for such a play? That is so weird. I do understand that it could have been maybe on the lack of intel, but as we can see, Gambit right now will have such a difficult time here to hold this one. Axel in towards short sees Ivan will be able to take him down, but as we can see, somehow Axel still gets a second kill. Alright, Axel, he's somehow single-handedly able to pull this one back here for Gambit, but this is where things do get interesting. The retake has to come in here from the CTs. They obviously have to try and go for this one. It's quite the winnable situation here, but Kenzer, oh no, he's gonna get the backstab in. He gets the first kill, the second one as well. It's pretty much it here for Mir. It's obviously not gonna be looking too easy for him to try and get this clutch in, and he can't succeed. There's 4 kills for Kenzer, and most importantly, because Prosto have reached 15, the guys here from Gambit, like I said, the money's in the bin. It's non-existent here for the Gambit players. It looks like they're just going to have to go for the force buy here, purchase whatever they can, and as we can see, it's not a good purchase at all. We have the upgraded pistol, sure, but, I mean, where's the utility? Where's some of those better weapons? It's not here for Gambit. So right now, Prosto have got a perfect opportunity to actually try and close out this match here. Which, in fact, I mean, would be quite the upset here. Yeah, Mir definitely made some noise there, so Jeff, we'll get the better of Mir. Yeah, look at this. Right now, the Prosto players are able to win fights all over the map. We saw them get a kill here towards Banana. We saw them now get a kill here in the apartments. So this isn't looking too good here for, well, the likes of Gambit. It's a 5-on-3, a pretty uneven 5-on-3. And Doja and Axel still going to try to give it a best shot. That's actually a pretty good kill here for Axel. Not sure if they can recover here the rifle, but I mean, it still somehow puts the Gambit players at least in a bit of a more winnable scenario. It's a 4-on-3. But right now, it looks like a mini-player. Yes! Prosto gonna continue on pushing on the safe bomb site. Right now, it's gonna be a 4-on-2 scenario, which obviously, if you're Doge and Axel, you want to try to go for this retake, but it ain't gonna be looking too easy for them. You want to continue on moving forward. You have Axel on the AK-47, Doge on the Deagle. Obviously, no defuse kits whatsoever, so it's going to be very difficult for Gambit to actually get this retake in. But they have to give it their best shot. This is the last round of the half. The map, as well as the game. So right now, okay, Axel still finds a kill here on Kenzor. But the timer is ticking ever so lower, and suddenly we're down to a one-on-one. Flarich, he's got an awesome opportunity to close this one out, as of course Doja doesn't have the defuse kit, has no idea about the positioning of Flarich. And the end of it all will be a Prosto victory. And of course, they win the best of 3. So that was pretty much it, folks. Prosto do end up moving on towards the quarterfinals, and that's it for our matchup. Of course, the second map will be Red Reserve going up against Heroic.